Hello, everyone. Hi, it is me again. It's your boy. I already ran. English. We're playing as Misty. I don't know who to pick. You know what? Let's pick the Cloud. Misty, Cloud, little Swamp Witch. We got a little cloudy Cloud. Nightmare 3. Cool. Go. So what am I talking about today? I want to talk about education, or like lack thereof, for like everyone. Because it costs like $300,000 to get a 4-year degree at a university, and then it doesn't make sense, and it gets you nowhere. Oh, this is such a loaded conversation. And what do I mean by that? It's just, so here's my philosophy. So I didn't go to a university. I did go to college. I got a degree. I used it for a few years. I don't use it anymore. I got laid off from that career field. And I mean, I'll ultimately put a lot of things into motion to kind of be the best thing that ever happened in my life. Was unfortunately after the terrible time of like being homeless and living in my car and stuff. What was I doing? Minimal damage up? We're gonna do that. Is that my foot? So for someone who has gone to college and is a year away, I'm 35 by the way, a year away from finally paying off his student loans, in my humble opinion, and this is just an opinion, it's my opinion, it's not actual, advice, but in my opinion, you should be focused more on learning something and not the fact that you had to go to a university or a college to get that knowledge and education. Even now more so than ever, because people are so unskilled and have no real world application or experience. They just have textbook experience and like that's it, and even then it's poor. Because the education system in general is the worst it's ever been also. And it just continues to get worse. It's just bad. It's just bad. And it's also kind of depressing to I've been in a position to interview and hire people from a line level, let's just say standard employee, all the way up to someone that would have multiple direct reports and manage other managers. And I've been hiring people of such status for about 8 years. And it's mind-boggling to see the people that have masters and some PhDs, and they're applying for my entry-level positions. It's just not a joke. Like, I'm not trying to be funny right now. And some of them, I even asked them, like, respectfully, can I ask you a question? And they're like, sure. And I'm like, I'm sure there's something you can do with your overwhelming education that isn't this. And it's not to the downtime. When I say this, it's like, so let's say like if you're an accountant or you work at a bank, and the person that's applying to your accounting role has a PhD in like aerospace engineering. Like, why are you applying to be an accountant? That's the example I'm saying. And the consistent message I get is, I really shouldn't have done it. I'm grateful for the experience and that knowledge and education. Ultimately, I was chasing something that wasn't true to me, and that's also why it has been challenging to utilize said degree or piece of paper that I paid probably $150,000 for. And that's what a lot of them have said. And it's actually almost depressing. I'm like, that is mind-boggling. It's just unanimously the same kind of thing. Now, some are just like, no, things haven't gone well, or they've been in a situation where I was, where they were doing said thing and they were in a position to where that was took from them. And after that happened, they just like, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just going to do something else. Because it's pretty much, sure. Because it's pretty much what I did. I was like, I'm going to do something else. Maybe this is a sign this wasn't for me. I did the best I could. I worked 60, 80 hours a week every week. The whole work hard, everyone says. And it's not only working hard, it's working hard with quality. But at the end of the day, to most and many businesses or organizations, unless you are the one who owns it, at the end of the day, you are just a number. And if that's the case, you really gotta, it's like resonating so much right now. You need to really do something you enjoy that can also financially support you. Because at the end of the day, even when you're doing that, unless you own the business, you're just a number. And you are here to generate profit for whatever that organization is, no matter what it is. Even religion. Yeah, I'm looking at you, religion. It's a business too. Non-profit, sure. Cool. It's a business. It's to generate money. It can't continue to fund without money. So, and if that is something that gives you passion and you enjoy, then, well, generate that money for the church. But that's a whole nother topic. So like, why am I even bringing this up? Well, it's because I'm in the middle of interviewing people again, because I have an opportunity at the place that I run, and I'm running into it's the same story, the same thing. I'm like, man, I'm interviewing people that are overwhelmingly qualified to do something, and it's actually depressing to see, like, it's just all of that time and experience and everything's going unutilized. And it's always, they've gone to some sort of university, spent and absorbed just an egregious amount of money. And when you kind of get to know them better, they're like, yeah, if I could do it. Two of them, which I'm not gonna say their names, but two of them have, when we've talked about it, like, if I could have a do-over, I would still get educated, which, yes, like, let me put the, like, thumb or the bow on this is, everyone needs to learn something. The issue isn't being educated. The issue is the $180,000 to be educated is insane and silly. That's what I'm talking about. They said they would have redone, if they could have redone what they did, they would have got an internship and just got a certificate at a trade school or a community college. Two of them are like, if I could do it over again, I would have gone to a community college. And I asked them, well, is it just because of the debt itself? And they're like, no, because they're like, I am absolutely confident I would be exactly where I'm in my life right now with the same certificate, with the same level of, like, it's not the same level of education, but being educated enough in that field to get into the field is what mattered more than having this insane stacked degree to get into the field. And don't get me wrong, there are certain professions that require you to have, like, a triple bachelor's just to do, or something like that. Like being like even being an RN, like, there's so much schooling you have to do to be a nurse. The issue around it is so many people are doing it, so you don't need a million nurses. So now you're stuck with a degree that isn't useless. You end up doing other things that you don't want to do. Like, you end up working at, like, a nursing home, or you do something else that's associated to the field, but you incurred all this debt to not do that specifically, but that's what you're doing specifically now because you don't have a choice. So if you would have just got educated, as we all should, I'm going to keep saying over and over again, we all need to get educated. Everyone needs to learn. No, there shouldn't be anyone out here that's like, boo, bah humbug knowledge. No, we need to learn. The day you stop learning is the day you stop honestly becoming a human. At that point, you go from human to parasite. like that's it. You've become parasite. Like, you will never be in a position to contribute anything to society. So you just take at this point. You just take. And I'm very strongly opinionated towards being educated. And in my entire life of hiring and managing and working with others, some of my best employees or best leaders or best managers that I've had work for me have legitimately just had, like, community college or some type of trade certification, or they've worked, like, they've had, like, a very broad amount of work experience, and they have been so successful. They have done so well. Some of them are actually, too, have surpassed even where I'm at in my standing, and they are younger than me. They are killing it in life right now, and their level of education is not. They don't have a master's or a PhD or anything. They don't even have some don't even have a bachelor's, and they're overwhelmingly successful and love what they do. And I wish them they continue that. I wish them the best. But yeah, the whole reason this is even a topic right now is because my algorithm apparently on YouTube when I was going home really wanted me to apparently listen to a podcast of finance. It's kind of like a finance podcast, like just talking about like economic state of affairs, how pretty much like the majority of the US's issues right now is student debt. It's student loan debt. And they went on to like all the studies and statistics about like how many people that actually, what's a crazy thing is people that have degrees are more jobless than people that don't have degrees. That is a true statistic right now. You are more than likely to not have a job right now if you have a degree. And now you could argue like, well, that's because the jobless person is fucking flipping burgers or whatever it is. Yeah, at least they have an income. How about you? How about you, jobless person with a fucking PhD as $150,000 student loan debt? How's that going? Right? Like at the end of the day, to some point, income is income. Like it can't be zero. You can't survive on zero. Get on your feet. It may not be something you like to do, which is what was my experience. I started to do something that was making me literally I couldn't even live off the amount of money I was making, which is why I still have to live in my car after being laid off from engineering. And I didn't like that. I did not like the way the life was going, but I chose something that wasn't going to make me miserable doing it every day. I was like, you know what? I won't hate doing this, but damn, things still suck. And I really don't like how much I'm being paid to do it. But you know what? If I don't do this, it's going to get even worse before it gets better at all. And that's just the energy I kept. I was like, you know what? Just do it. You got to tough it out. And I did. It was the best thing I ever did. Because of that, I've crossed paths with amazing people. I have met some of the most intelligent, smart, and amazing men and women I thought I would never even run into. I've been exposed to so many different types of knowledge and just more, all because I decided to tough it out and just figure it out. Do something I really didn't want to do at the hopes that, you know what, maybe this will pay off 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Well, because the me now in today's state is a product of me 12 years ago. And because of that mindset I had 12 years ago, I'm able to, actually not hate things right now. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm still paying my student loans. I still have a lot in student loans. Not a lot. It's almost gone. I still have that. I went years without hanging out, partying, doing the cool stuff, all that stuff with friends, because I was like, you know what? Me in the future is gonna thank me, and me in the past, thank you past me. I know it sucked a lot and things were really bad. You should have not have gone to you should have gone to a trade school or got a certificate or did some type of internship. You should have done that, because I would be even better off than I am now. I would have no student loan debt, and I would still be educated, and I would still probably be in a different position maybe, but I would still be, I would assume, where I am now, just not with 40,000 plus in total student loan debt. Like, I just want to have that. So is what it is. But to those of you that do, university and all that stuff, like, at the same time, that is, if you actually use it for what it is supposed to be, you're exposed to an insane amount of resources for knowledge and to further develop your mind and education and just so many other things that so many people just don't have access to because they financially can't get access to that. If you really just take that all in, I'm sure you can do really great things as well. I'm just saying, in today's day and age, learning, and let me like emphasize this, learning is more important than anything. Being knowledgeable about anything is more important than anything. And how you get that knowledge at this point is irrelevant. You just need to get the knowledge. You need to be educated. You need to learn. You need to be good at something. And it doesn't need you to get a 4-year, 8-year, 6-year, 8-year degree at a university, and it's not going to financially pay off for you in the long run, because at the end of the day, they don't care. They got your money. They don't care if you're successful or not. They care that you enroll and get that loan. That's what they care about, because at the end of the day, guess what? Education's also a business. And what do businesses do? Everything's here to make profit. That's McDonald's, Taco Bell, your favorite sushi place, everything. Even when it says non-profit, it's still here to generate money. Everything is here to generate wealth. It's just, what does it look like on paper? How does that wealth look like when it's presented? Is that wealth being allocated to a bunch of things? You know, we call that non-profit. Or is it being put into pockets of those and making people really rich? Call it profit. Oh, cuss words. Oh, I have plenty of butterflies on the map though. Let's see if I can pick up some of these butterflies, get some more speed. All right. Do I not have a red one? Is the green one crit? I think this is crit. This should be fine. Yeah, he got murdered. Lol. All right, we're gonna go in the portal and just... I thought I died. Sure. So I'm just gonna stand here. I guess this is like the breakout when it's just all over. I'm just gonna sit here and talk and spin in circles. There's my screenshot. One last time. One more. For any of y'all that understand where that... I think I said it with the... There was no reason to buy that. I think I said that with the right level. One more. If you understand where that's from, awesome. A+. I just realized the hell portal level didn't go up though. Is there a frame of killing you have to do to level up the hell portal? I'm not feeling very strong on this run, so I'm not gonna try to do it. But yeah, TLDR, education, learn something, but it doesn't have to cost you a mortgage to do so. That's the point. I mean, we're 18 minutes in. None of y'all are here anyways. So if you are here, tell me what's like the stinkiest thing you've ever smelled. For me, the most vile thing I've ever smelled, it was when I was working at McDonald's when I was like 15, 16. I don't even remember. I was old enough to work and I was working at McDonald's. And I guess they hadn't picked up the trash from our dumpster in like weeks. And we're never just there. We're just always just kind of like lift the lid up and throw it in, lift it up and throw it in. And I realized it started to build up for a little bit. And then one day, I had lifted it up to throw it in. Like it was already kind of open. I lifted it up and I was like, So I kind of like threw the lid up. And when I threw the lid up, I guess a bag was like stuck to the top and it ripped open. And it threw like food and stuff, whatever had flung a little bit in the air. And it was like straight, just right. It hit me in my face. I can still remember it so vividly. I was like this. And I was like, because it was already like, you know, kind of open, like it was cracked open a little bit. So you're like, ugh. So I got this ready to throw and I was going to just do the throw up and throw in. So it just kind of falls down when you're done. You know what I'm talking about? But when I threw up, it threw some shit up and and I was like, ugh! It was so vile. It was so vile, man. Oh god. I'm crying. Thanks for watching. Love you guys.